been the one to say it, you've heard it ringing through the house. It's not the kids' fault. 3 months is a long time for a child to entertain themselves, especially when they've been teacher directed for 10 months. Kids are at home with nothing but time, but parents still have to be at work. Whether you are a student who is now in need of activities, or a parent who needs to provide a babysitter or camp to your now housebound offspring, summer breaks impact a wide population. I work at a private day school that goes year-round, with a 2-week break in the winter and summer. After experiencing my own restlessness as an elementary school student stuck at home for 3 months and researching the benefits of year-round schooling, I can see the advantages of having schooling year-round. Students suffer from learning loss and inefficient use of school resources due to an outdated school year calendar, and a year-round academic calendar would benefit the education system in the United States. We will discuss the outdated calendar, students' learning loss, and better use of resources if year-round schooling was implemented. To explain how outdated the school calendar in America is, we examine how it was originally created and what options we have for year-long schooling. The 10-month school year is outdated and in dire need of an update. The roots of the school year and calendar in use today were founded on problems that are no longer applicable in this day and age. People have been following the summer break calendar for far too long. Even more than 20 years ago, people thought it was outdated. From edweek.org, contributing writer for Education Weekly, Jacqueline Zabrinsky, in her article, Year-Round Schooling Explained, dated December 18, 2015, wrote, a landmark in 1994 report for the National Education Commission of Time and Learning describes the nation's schools as prisoners of time and advocates for more schools to break away from the traditional Labor Day to Memorial Day school year. On pbs.org, writers for WIDA Public Broadcasting, Saskia DeMelker and Sam Weber, in their article Agrarian Roots, Think Again, Debunking the Myth of Summer Vacations or Origins, posted on September 7, 2014, wrote, in the days before air conditioning, schools and entire cities could be sweltering places during the hot summer months. Wealthy and eventually middle-class urbanites were also usually made plans to flee the city's heat, making those months the logical time in cities to suspend school. An update to the calendar is needed to transition to year-round schooling. The current school year consists of Labor Day to Memorial Day schooling. University of Texas Arlington on January 8, 2018, posted an article titled, Should We Consider Year-Round School in the U.S. on academicpartnerships.uta.edu, explaining in year-round school, kids attend classes for 6 to 9 weeks at a time with 2 to 4 week breaks. Rebecca R. Skinner, a specialist in education policy, wrote Year-Round Schools, in brief, published June 9, 2014 on fast.org. There are 2 types of year-round school, single-track and multi-track. She explains that multi-track being 2 groups of students coming to school on different days and single-track being only one population of students. With the outmoded calendar, schools are taking away students' learning with overextended breaks. The long summer break encourages learning loss in students. The summer slide refers to the loss of students' learning in the months of summer break. From ace.edu, an article titled The Pros and Cons of Year-Round School, posted on July 7, 2019 by Brooke McGuire, a doctor of education and leadership, stated, when schools close for the summer, achievement gaps increase and students experience a decline in academic skills and social emotional health. Even the most prepared parent will find it hard to combat this summer slide. The article further explains, low-income students are especially prone to these negative effects. Year-round school takes away the threat posed by the summer slide. Not only do kids forget lessons over the break, but when they return to school, teachers must use valuable instruction time to review the previous year's lessons. The article concludes with, summer slide is also the reason why teachers spend the first month of school reviewing and what was previously taught. Less instructional time is spent on review in year-round schools. From ed.gov, an article from the National Education Commission of Time and Learning titled Prisoners of Time from April of 1994 describes learning in America as a prisoner of time. For the past 150 years, American public schools have held time constant and let learning vary. The rule only rarely voiced is simple. Learn what you can in the time we make available. It should surprise no one that some bright, hardworking students do reasonably well. Everyone else, from typical students to the dropout, runs into trouble. From loss of learning and valuable classroom time, the current 10-month school calendar is not using the resources allotted to the education system wisely. A year-round school calendar is a better use of resources. Year-round schooling provides a more efficient use of overcrowded classrooms. Multi-tech schools are designed to expand capacity without having to build new schools or install portable classrooms, said previously cited Rebecca R. Skinner in her article, Year-Round Schools in Brief. Previously cited on academicpartnerships.uta.edu, titled, Should We Consider the Year-Round School in the U.S.? Lists pros and cons of year-round schools, including reducing class sizes and overcrowding classrooms and alleviating the need for new school construction. Year-round schooling provides more stability and resources for students. From previously cited ace.edu, an article titled The Pros and Cons of Year-Round School by Brooke McGuire, she writes that year-round school provides a more structured environment, one of consistency and positivity for students of unsupportive or unstable homes. The safety and dependability that school offers does not stop with the onset of summer. From the previously cited article titled, Should We Consider Year-Round School in the U.S. on academicpartnerships.uta.edu, when teachers are required to be on campus year-round, struggling students who lose about 27% of learning gains over the summer have access to regular tutoring and support they otherwise would not have in the summer months. Shorter breaks between schools terms means that students are able to avoid gaps in learning. A year-round school calendar is an efficient use of educational resources. Due to the outdated school calendar in place in the U.S., students suffer from learning loss as well as misuse of resources. A year-round academic calendar should be implemented in the U.S. The roots of the school year calendar in use today were founded on problems that are no longer applicable in this day and age, and an update to the calendar is needed by transitioning to year-round schooling. We investigated the summer slide and the loss of valuable instruction time to review the previous year's lessons after the summer break. Lastly, we concluded year-round schooling provides a more efficient use of overcrowded classrooms and provides more stability and resources to students. Although students throughout time will always have reasons to be bored, let's make breaks from school enjoyable and restful, not boring. Thank you. Bye-bye.